Please welcome back Megan Sillito.
Ooh, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Am I on? Is anybody in here? Yeah. So I just wanted to just start out by taking a moment and to take you in your hearts, your magic, your greatness, your beauty. And I'm thinking, like, who must you guys be? Like, it pulls that song out of her and pulled a book out of me. I wasn't writing no book. But when they said, hey, we need a book, and they were looking at one of my older books, I'm like, well, things have changed. I've changed. And isn't that kind of like how truth is, right? It evolves as we do. We get more awareness as we grow, right? So I says to Cindy, what if I just write you a book? And she's like, and basically this is, they would need to have it in their hands 10 days later. Because I do stuff like that. Silly Megan, silly rabbit. But I have to say that there was something about her request and who all of you are that said, it's time. I've been a transformational leader for 30 years. I probably have 45,000 hours of coaching and training in like groups and one-on-one. And over the last couple years, there's been this body of work emerging from me. I mean, I'm trained in everything and their dog. Like, I've got so many trainings, you know, and I'm a weaver, and I've been bringing that together. It's part of my magic, is to go, ooh, that, ooh, what happens when you put that and that together? Ooh, right? Like, that's how I create. So when you asked, I was like, it's time. It's time to talk about what I know, what I've seen behind the curtain in deep, deep transformation and what it actually takes to go from here to over here. And so thanks for calling me out. Thanks for calling it out of me. I really appreciate it. And I have a little confession for Cindy, which is after I said it, I freaked out. And I didn't know what the heck to write. I just went blank. So I actually wrote it in 3.5 days. Because for the first 5 days, I was like, ah. And then it took about 1.5 days to typeset and edit. My team came in and swung in and saved the day at the last minute. So, who must you be? Who must you be? Now, sometimes we ask that question when a little doggy-doo hits the fan. Well, who must I be? This mess is in here. For those of you who've read my book, you know the obstacle is the way. What the obstacle does is it says, hey, you're bigger than this. You are greater than me. And I'm here to call out some magic. Because I will guarantee you there's not a situation, there is not a problem in your life that you're not 1,000 times bigger than. There's nothing in this reality that can touch the power of you or me. Nada. But what we tend to do with obstacles, and kind of what we've been taught, especially by some of the very new slick marketing salesman transformational people, is that, you know, if you were doing it right, everything would be perfect. You would have the money, you would have the car, you would have the soulmate, you would have all the things. That's if you were doing it right. Ha ha. That's not how it works, kids. We get to have all of the joy. We get to create and manifest our desires. Don't hear that, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it occurs by your willingness to face an obstacle and go, hi, I see you. and play leapfrog. Become greater than it. What is it calling up in you? It's calling up something you haven't yet been willing to be, but in order to get through it, you have to be that. So it's like a little trickster going, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out. You know? That relationship conflict, oh crap, there's no money in the bank, like, and health crises, all of it is saying, be more. Dance with me. Dance with me. You are magic. You have more magic in your little finger than any problem that has ever existed on this planet cumulatively. I got all preachy there. How am I doing? See what happens? My goodness. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters. I'm wondering if you would be willing to join me in stoking the fire of your greatness. Would that be all right with you? You know, Teresa, you talked about the breath. You were being grateful for the breath. And that is one of my favorite tools to help people access their greatness, their magic. We'll be doing this. I'm going to go deeper into this in the workshop today. But right behind your belly button, there's a little white flame or pearl. In Qigong, they call it the pearl of consciousness, and other places call it different. But basically, why our umbilical cord was connected there is because of this really sacred, essential energy. It is our original life force, our original chi, exists right behind that belly button, right between your back and about 3 inches back from your belly button. So when we're connected to that, we are connected to the entire cosmos. So this whole thing that a lot of spiritual people, me included, had about spirit or body. Spirit or body. Get here. Oh, but I don't want to leave my happy spirit stuff. Right? It's actually the way to spirit is through the body. Through this central pearl that is actually contains the entire cosmos and your original life force. So by going deep into your original life force, you connect to the entire universe and all of its wisdom and all of its knowledge. Isn't that great? Now, the trouble is we also, guess where we carry fear? Right when you get scared, where do you feel it? The belly is where the body sort of holds fear. So most of us don't go or touch or connect to that because of the layers of fear. So some of you might be going, yeah, Megan, that sounds great, but I never felt that greatness magic. I don't know what you're talking about. This problem I got, it's real big because, like, let me give you an hour and I'll tell you how big it is, why it's bigger than me. And that's what we do is we convince ourselves that it's bigger than us, and we convince anybody who would listen to us that it's bigger than us. Right? So, but really what's happening is we haven't been taught how to move through those fear layers. Those fear layers, as we talked about in book group this morning, are conformity, construct, pain, genetic programming, cultural programming, religious programming, everything that says, don't be you, 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 don't be you. Oh, don't say that. Don't get off the podium. So, one of the things that I find really vitally important is that we have to find a different way through fear. We have to find our brain is the least effective tool to deal with fear, or any emotion for that matter. But we're all trying to process it all up here. It's kind of like trying to dig a foundation with an ice pick. It's not the right tool. it's not, but what we do, we try to scare ourselves safe. Oh no, this bad thing, oh no, I'm getting older, oh no, what about my retirement, oh no, oh no, oh no. And it's just like this little 3-year-old playing with knives in there. Not useful, we've got it. How we metabolize fear is actually through the body. And when we move it through the body, then the mind gets clarity. There's a release of consciousness and energy and wisdom if we will but metabolize that fear. I would say I've probably been more scared than most people I've ever met. And for some reason, I just keep showing up. I had a guy at the very end of a workshop one time, and there was literally 1 minute left. I'm like, okay, if it's quick. He goes, oh yeah, it's quick. He said, how do you attribute your success in life? That was a short question. And I was like, what I loved about it is that I have 1 minute left forced me to find the gold really fast. And what came out of my mouth was, I keep saying yes to things I don't think I can do. I don't have any nice little process, 7-step, 8-key situations for you guys. But I do know how to help you get in touch with the core of you so that you can say yes to things you don't think you can do or change or shift. So I have, the guy that did my brain scan said if I could add a D and an H to ADHD, that'd be you. So I now call myself ADDHHD. So you might notice I have about 3 threads spinning around. I'll get back to them. One was the breath, remember? So I want you guys to start touching the little flame in your pearl. I want you to start connecting to it with me through the breath. And how we're going to do that is we're going to breathe into the belly. And when you do, I like putting my hand here so I can push it out like Buddha. Right? Buddha belly. Now, one hand on the heart. Because that core essential life force must be connected to the driver. So that's the power. This pearl in your belly is your power. It's your original life force and energy. Right? But we have to push that power through the heart. So it has wisdom and expansion, and the power comes through love. Yeah. So kind of play yourself like an accordion with your breath. Those of you at home might want to stand up to get the full effect of it, and anybody can do that here. And you can do it, you're just fine sitting too. Now, when you go in, imagine that you're starting a fire and you're blowing a little bit of breath on it. Like when you're getting the fire's just getting those embers going, and you go, and it goes like that. Oxygenate the fire in that part of your belly. Breathe into it. Stoke that fire. Let it come up. Some of you maybe, the way I first experienced the pearl was like a star in the night. That's how it started to show up, as a little sparkle. Sometimes it looks like a flame now, which is really cool, like a candle, like the base of the flame. And it's okay just to imagine it. If you don't actually see it. I'm not a seer, I'm a feeler, right? I very rarely get images. So I feel it. I feel the energy. I feel the pulsing of life force in that part of my belly. Now I'm going to ask you to do something a little tricky. I want you to unhook focusing out of your head. And I want you to drop and imagine you're looking out your belly. So I want you to take your center of focus and drop into your belly center. See, we think that this is where we operate from. It isn't. Well, it is, and we don't have to. See if you can drop your awareness to come from your core, to come from your belly. And it's okay. Like when I first started to do that, I mean, guys, I'm a recovering head case. And so when I first started to do this stuff, my head was spinning. I could only touch it for a second. And it's okay, because that got to start somewhere. Now, as you're breathing in, for those of you who aren't able to see it with your eyes, I want you to feel it, and maybe just with your imagination, see the base of a candle flame that's growing, and it's sending its light up through your torso, up through your chest, throat, and shining out of your body and being. Even if you can only access it for a nanosecond. That's your beginnings of connecting to the core of your energy and your life force. Anything that you have created in this life and everything that has been created on this earth was first energy before it was physical. We must start with our energy to create, but we must start with our essential energy. Not our dysregulation, not our dissociation, not our depression, but from true life force. Because you can do this regardless of what the hell is going on in life. You can find that connection to your power, to your source, to your energy field that you create from. And the more aligned we are, body, mind, and spirit, that makes our energy field really resonant and juicy. And then guess what? The field itself starts calling in what we require. Have you ever noticed that trees and flowers and all the things, they tend to get what they need? The animals, they tend to get what they need. Why is that? Because humans are the only life force that can go against our nature. Isn't that great? Why did we sign up for that? Right? But when a thing is being its thing, when it's being its essential self, it gets everything it requires. Because in the field of the tree is the invitation for water and sun and receiving, and the entire universe organizes itself to meet the needs of the tree, to meet the needs of the dolphin and all of the different things. When our field is resonant with who we be, our power, our love, our wisdom, our intuition, it opens our field. And things can come in like we couldn't have made up or imagined or figured on our own. I mean, it's lovely to think of something and call it in. That's beautiful. But there's another level of creation. And it's about expanding so big into who we are that everything we need, known and unknown, shows up as we follow the whispers of creation. As we say, our only job, I think, really, is to get lined up with all this juiciness in here, to say, I want to go over there, and to not have clue one about how to get there. That's actually an indication that it's a really, really good place for you to look. If you know how to make something happen, it's probably not big enough. The cool shit is the stuff you can't go, I have no idea. I don't even know about that. And then we just start walking in that direction. As we get inspiration, as we get wisdom, we find ourselves getting on some weird phone call where we agree to write a book in 3 days. You know? You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. And I'm here today because of that. I'm here because I follow that. Even if it looks impossible. Impossible, how it looks is none of your freaking business. How it looks to you is based on your constructs. If it looks impossible, yeah, that's the direction. That's where, and that's what's going to engage life force. Because your life force was given to you to create miracles, magic. Your life force was given to you for something beautiful and deep and resonant. Choose worthy of it. Choose something worthy of your own essential nature. Anybody start feeling anything down here? Yeah. Awesome. Keep going, guys. Keep fanning the flame. In the workshop, we're going to dive in really deep. This is just a little taster of how we start connecting back up to our innate source of energy, which then it flows a clear line of energy through our heart, through our speaking, and through our consciousness. The reason the subtitle of the book is the surprisingly practical choice is most of what we see out there that we find problematic or in our own lives was actually created from rationalization and logic and from duality of right and wrong and good and bad. There's no happy ending when you're initiating from trying to find the right choice, trying to do the good thing, trying not to do the bad thing. There's no happy outcome for that other than more pain. We cannot get ourselves out of the fix we are in globally through logic or through rationalization. We have to go to a deeper power, a deeper knowing. We have to rise as the light and the power and the magic that we are. Because that changes the frequency. And things, as we do it together, and that's what's so beautiful about a place like this, is because we're changing frequency together. Together we start a beam out into the universe of a different frequency, a different resonance. There's a different way to be. We cannot solve the problem from the same level of thinking that created the problem. And I'd like to say that we need to stop thinking altogether. We need to be and follow that. Now, that's not quite right. When the energy, because most of us are flipped, we have our mind is supposed to be a yin energy. It's supposed to be quiet. And the fire, that most of us have going on up here, should be going on down here, because that's what powers your body and this life, right? When you're allowing the seed of your power to come from here, your mind gets quiet. And guess what happens when your mind gets quiet is whispers. We can hear the whispers. We can hear inspiration. We get that creative idea. Oh, gosh, what about doing this? What about doing that? So that kind of thinking is useful. Thinking called, let's solve this, is a 3-year-old with knives. It is not safe, and it doesn't end very well. I've noticed. For myself, as I said, I'm a recovering head. But we have to be willing to actually transmute the fear. That's how we begin to unblock. Because it's like we're peeling back the layers that have been on the light, that have been laying on the light. And as we do that, the more we feel that flow, that connection to ourself, to source, and it can shine through our whole being. So thank you for calling my greatness forward, for calling more of me forward. And I truly mean that. Who knows when that book would have got written? For reals. With the ADHD squirrels. You know? So, from the bottom of my belly, I thank you. And thank you for giving me the space to share my knowing with you. Thank you. Okay, so.